So now let's talk a moment about a different type of hoop. It's called the endless hoop. The endless hoop, although it isn't like a metal hoop, it doesn't have only one piece. It does have two pieces. It has basically an upper part of the hoop and the bottom part of the hoop. This doesn't come off though, like in a standard hoop. A standard hoop, the inside part of the hoop comes out. This is connected. And why this works so well is along this edge, when you're working on an edge of like a curtain or sheets, anything like that. I'm going to show you a moment of pashmina that I did. It's easy to line it up right here. So anything that you have a straight edge, the endless hoop is great for. So now I'm actually going to turn this around. It'll make it a little bit easier so you can see how you would do this at home. What I like to do is I do keep my stabilizer actually on the roll. So I'm just going to put that there. And remember, we have this nice little ledge here that we put everything up to. I'm just going to let that stabilizer come down. And as I move my fabric, I'm also going to move the stabilizer. So that's why I keep it on the roll like that. And then I'm going to take my pashmina. Now, as you can see, I've already stitched on this, but you're going to get the idea of how this is going to work. So I'm going to place both the pashmina as well as the stabilizer up to that nice edge there. And then simply, make sure that's up there, simply put that down. Make sure you don't have any extra bits in there like I did for just that moment. And now when I close that, you'll see everything is lined up on this edge. I can just ever so slightly pull my little pashmina. So now I'm ready to stitch that out, which is really nice. And again, everything is lined up over here. Once I get done with my stitching, I'm just going to release this. And now the cool thing is you're going to take your garment, in my case my pashmina, as well as my stabilizer, and see how they're both now moving together. Once you stitch that first time, everything is hooked together, so it makes it super easy to allow things to move through. And I'm going to move to that edge. Again, make sure everything's lined up. Close that. Make it just a little bit tight. Exact same thing as we did before. And now we're on to our next step. So that's what's cool about the endless hoop is you just do one after the other without having to take the hoop off of your machine, which is really neat. And one other little tip, I'm just going to set this down for a minute. I love to sew on ready to wear. You probably already figured that out. Here's the thing, a cool thing with ready to wear with a little skirt. So I like to use the endless hoop for the bottom of a skirt. The reason is, remember, it's got that nice, it's a flat, nice, even edge where the hem is. So all I do is I find, you'll see I have a little pin here, I find the center area of my skirt. So the center of the front of the skirt. Then, the reason why I like to use a little bit smaller endless hoop is because then I don't have to take out a back seam or a side seam, anything like that. I'm going to bring this in. And just like we did before, okay, so again, we're just going to use that little lip on this edge, just like we did before. Make sure that nothing is cut. So I took that pin out, clamp that down, make sure everything's even, and then I can start to do my embroidery in the center. Again, the skirt is nice, even right there, and then I just keep moving and moving as I go along. So again, not having to take that hoop off, hoop, re-hoop, take the inner hoop out. So that's what's great about endless hoops. So if you have one, you certainly should be using it more. And if you don't, you might want to think about getting that, especially if you're using curtains and different stuff like that. That makes it super easy with the endless hoop.